up, Chipper Chaps? This is Chipper Chap Chat episode 118.
Yes, 118.
I am FooRay.
And I'm Chamba.
Let's talk about some nerdy thing.
Yeah, a couple nerdy things. First up, this week has been just filled with trailers.
Oh, so many trailers, dude.
So many.
Oh, man. I gotta tell you, before we even get into it,
Sure.
next week is E3.
Yeah, you're excited, I bet.
I am so excited, dude.
What things
There's
are...
supposed to be
Yeah.
there's supposed to be an Avengers game announcement.
By who?
Square Enix, I guess.
Oh, this is the one that they were teasing.
Yes. So there's rumors that that's going to show up. There's rumors that Rocksteady is making a Superman game. They're the people that make the Arkham games.
Mm.
Uh, there's going to be the new Spider-Man game is supposed to be there and playable for people to try it.
Where is E3? Where is that?
I assume it's in LA, but I don't know for sure.
Why is everything held in California?
I don't know. And Kuro's up and wants to be in the middle of it.
Of course he does.
Hello, buddy. Why don't you just sit right here? Doesn't that seem good? There we go.
Yeah. Anything else in E3 that you're looking forward to?
Oh, so many things, dude.
Too many things? Should we have like an E3 episode next week or something?
Oh, geez. Maybe.
Yeah, when it's done, we could just talk about stuff from it that you liked.
Oh, yeah.
Because we don't have to talk about everything. I mean, we don't play. I mean, I don't play many games at all, ever. But there are obviously games that you're excited for, so we could just talk about those things.
Oh, dude, I'm going to be so stoked. I can't wait.
We'll save that for next time.
So anyway, the trailers.
Yes. First up, there was the full trailer for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's a Sony animation. It's about Miles and more, it seems, but mainly Miles.
I feel like we should talk about that one last because the
Okay.
other two I feel like are going to be quicker conversations.
All right. Let's go. First up, Lego Movie 2, the second part.
All right.
That's
so
what it's called.
This movie is happening.
I like the trailer. What did you think of the trailer?
I thought it was all right, I guess. I mean,
The whole Mad Max Lego thing?
I'm assuming that it's the younger sister has grown up and is now playing with these Legos. Because it's kind of what they set up in the first movie that the little sister was going to become involved.
Mm-hmm. Especially with the title of this called The Second Part.
Right. So
I just like the trailer though, how everything's like all Mad Max and grim and he's still all cheery.
Yeah. I don't know.
It made me laugh because I wasn't expecting it. And I was looking at the Lego sets involved in the Mad Max type scenes, and I'm like, those would make pretty cool sets. I'm sure they're gonna make them.
Anything that stood out to me.
I'm sure they're gonna start making those sets.
I thought the design of the alien sister or whatever character was really interesting because it's all supposed to be based on like real Lego parts.
I think those are real Lego parts though.
But like her limbs were like extra longer and stuff. Like something was like off of that.
Right. I mean, because I know at one point they made these female like Legos for females that weren't really. They didn't really look like minifigs.
Right.
So I'm thinking it's basically that. I don't know, but it looks like it's a fun film.
Yeah, I mean it's Lego movie. And I'm sure Lego Batman was great. I'm sure it'll be fine. I didn't see the Ninja one.
Dude, you need to watch the Ninjago one.
Shits.
It's actually hilarious. It's hilarious.
I believe it, but I'm still
because I had nothing invested in it, and Leonard was like, "Dude, watch it." I was like, "I don't care about it." He's like, "That's fine, just watch it." It's like, yeah, whatever. I watched it. I'm like, that was funny. Just as a comedy film, a cartoon comedy film, it was funny. So it kind of came out of nowhere. Anyways, the next trailer that popped up was BumbleBee.
Yeah, this is the 80s spin-off movie.
Yes, it's the prequel, as some are saying it's possibly a soft reboot.
I don't know why they're saying that though, because they've definitely established that Bumblebee has been around for a long time.
Right, but right. There's things in this, like the whole voice thing is weird to me. Why he still can't talk?
But yeah, I feel like I don't understand that. So you'll know better than me because I
Yes.
stopped watching
Cool,
them.
cool. I'll answer what questions I
He
can.
just continues to not be able to talk forever.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You didn't watch the last one, did you?
Mm-mm.
Okay, because in the last one, I'm gonna spoil shit, but you don't care, and I'm sure listeners don't give a shit anymore. Heck, I didn't really give a shit when I was watching it. I was just like, whatever.
Okay.
In the last one, they showed multiple flashbacks. So Bumblebee has already been on. He was one of the only Transformers on Earth for a long time.
Okay.
He fought in the war. He was a Jeep then, and it seemed
All
like
right.
he could talk.
At that point, he could
At that
talk.
point, he can talk, which is why I'm like, why in the '80s all of a sudden he can't talk again?
Yeah, because I definitely remember in the first movie.
Yeah, he said his voice box was broken and he's in the middle of
Yeah,
fixing it. And I'm like, how
I
long is it
don't
taking you to
remember.
fix, dude?
Right, I just remember that
27 years?
something about him getting shot in the throat or something,
Some
and then
like
that's it.
some stupid. And
All right.
that's my main problem with Bumblebee at this point. But as a trailer, it's very surprising. It actually looks decent.
Yes, and it's I mean, it's the first Transformers movie in this franchise that we've gotten that's not directed by him.
Yes, and automatically that shows promise.
Yeah, like just the character
Uh-huh.
seem. I mean, they didn't really introduce us to anybody
Right.
other than the girl.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the girl seems genuine.
Right.
Apparently, she's the same chick from 17,
Yes. I
Edge
know
of
what you mean.
17 or
Yep,
something
yep.
like that.
Age of 17. Um,
She's also Spider Gwen in that Spider Verse
right,
trailer,
which we'll get to.
right?
But like, okay, the guy who's directing this is the guy who directed Kubo and the Two Strings. So he's an
Right,
animation director who understands. Obviously, with animation, it's about story. So I'm like, cool. That's already a good step.
right.
You know.
Although I don't know, the story for Kubo didn't
Yeah.
really like blow me out of the
Again.
water.
He didn't write the story. He directed a story. Is what I mean. Like he
This is
knows how to
true,
direct the
but
story. He didn't write the Transformers, this Bumblebee spinoff either.
right.
He's
But
just directing it.
I'm just saying, it doesn't inherently mean
Oh,
the
of
story
course.
will be good because
Of
he's
course.
directing it.
Of course. I'm not saying this at all, but I'm just like the fact that it's new blood essentially taking the helm.
Yeah, it makes it a lot more interesting to
Right.
me,
Yeah.
and the fact that the designs are a lot
Oh,
more
it like
classic.
yeah, Bumblebee looks like it looks like a bumblebee. he looks
Right.
like he looks automatically like what you would imagine the name Bumblebee would be.
I
They
just
showed
like that when they transform in this one, you can still tell what they were.
absolutely. He still looks like the vehicle that he was.
Right. In the newer ones, you could never tell
No,
what any of
because
that
everything
shit was.
hides.
No, I think I was when we were talking about it on text. I was saying
mm-hmm.
they just look like crumpled up tinfoil with
Because
nail
it is.
polish
Yeah,
on.
yeah, it really is. Oh, some is nail, some is polished, some of it's like the innards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
and they showed Starscream, and I was like, oh shit, that's like Generation One Starscream
Right. They even they showed
with
the
the
wings
colors.
fold up
Everything. His
and
head
everything.
looks like Starscream's head. He's the actual cone goes to the chest, and I'm like, how are they? How did it take him this long to do this?
Right. It seems like a no-brainer to make the Transformers look like the
Right,
Transformers, but
you'd think that would be the first step for them to do instead of like, but then it's like, wait, if this is the prequel Starscream, let's say this is an actual prequel, supposedly a proper prequel. How did he
yeah.
get from a cool looking jet into a proper robot to a bloody metal Dorito? Because he was a
I
triangle.
remember.
He
I
transformed
know. I
into a
remember
triangle.
he looked dumb, but I don't remember.
Oh, he was a
Well,
triangle. He was a triangle with arms and legs, and
that's
his
dope.
the face of a crab.
Good. I don't know.
All I know is that
Um,
this actually looks promising, and I'm gonna watch it.
well, I mean, we all know you're gonna watch it,
Yeah.
but
I didn't watch the last one in the cinema. I watched it on the airplane, and then I watched it not on the airplane afterwards because the airplane screen is very small.
it looks like Cena maybe is an antagonist. It's not, and I was not expecting that.
He's part of Nest, which is that organization that takes care of them, that like handles extraterrestrial things, like a government type.
Well, the way that he is framed in the trailers,
Right,
he
he looks
looks
like
like
the
an
antagonist.
antagonist.
Right, yeah, yeah.
So that's interesting to me. It's just not at all what I imagined when they were like, it's Cena and he's in an 80s movie. I
Mm-hmm.
imagined it was going to be him doing something much more
Right.
comedic.
I watched a clip. It was like a slight review of the trailer, and they stated that they seen his name. I didn't catch the name, but his name is the same. He shared the same surname as a character from Mask,
Okay.
and that's what they were like. Is this like possibly the beginning of the Hasbro thing?
I mean, what's the character's last name?
I forget. I didn't get the whole thing. I watched it
I,
like yesterday.
I just feel like it's different if
Right.
his last name is McGillicuddy or if his last name is Smith.
Oh, it's not Smith. It's not like a regular throwaway surname.
I don't know, man. I just feel like this, you know, it
If
might
it
be a
was
bit of a
McGillicuddy,
leap.
it's like that's very specific.
That's what I'm saying. You
Yeah,
know, if it's Johnson, then it's like, well, that could be fucking anybody.
yeah. If his
Like,
name was just Johnson.
everybody made such a big deal about the dude from Deadpool, Peter W. or whatever. They're like, he's gonna be this character because his name is Peter. His last name starts with a W. He's got to be this character. It didn't end up being that.
Yeah.
You know,
But
so
either
I
way,
feel like
that's
it's
so
just
weird. The
a
trailer looks
lot of
good. I'm
jumping to
gonna watch it.
conclusions.
It actually looks good. It
Yeah,
surprised
it
a lot
looks
of
like it
people.
could. It looks like it could be cool.
Hmm.
I'm curious how it will work with a lot scaled down version of the story and cast because you have to imagine there's not a lot of other Transformers in it if you're just calling it a Bumblebee movie.
Right. Right.
Um, it seems like Starscream is the main antagonist,
Hmm.
but I also heard that the cop
Barricades in
car,
the barricades is a
yeah.
police vehicle.
So if there's gonna be a couple Decepticons, then
Yeah.
I mean, if they show like old school Optimus Prime would be pretty tight.
Dude, if it like ends with Optimus landing and he's like the old school car, and he when he transforms into a body actually resembles that, I'd be like, why the fuck did it take this long?
Just needed anybody but Bay to do it, I guess.
Is that all it really would come down to? Anybody but Bay.
Well, it's not completely the case because
Right, because he's
look
still
what happened to
producing.
Turtles.
That's true. That's
And
true.
he didn't direct those movies, but he sure
No,
fucked up the Turtles.
he did.
So
What kind of power do producers have in these things?
it depends. For him, it wasn't just a producing, it's his whole production company is the Platinum Dunes shit or whatever.
Right.
Um so it just depends on how much money and all the other circumstances. But Bay has a significant amount of power. But
He
I also
does.
think he's kind of like it seems like he's kind of phasing his way out. He keeps saying like each one is his last
I
one.
mean, well, they did cancel
Yeah, I
the
did hear
proposed.
that.
Yeah, the sixth one, which was supposed to be starting next year, is cancelled. So technically, right as of right now, this is the last Transformers film, related
So
film.
if they if there's supposedly if the Cena character does end up being randomly related to David Johnson from Mask,
It's Burns, by the
uh,
way, Agent Burns.
come on, Burns is a pretty common
Yeah.
name. But in any case, if it ends up being that,
Yep.
uh, I think that would be interesting if this shared universe world all took place in the 80s, so it's all the 80s versions of them would be interesting.
Because it's almost it's at that point it'd be closer to when the actual toys were released.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they kept it there, I think it'd be really interesting because then you can get the 80s versions of G.I. Joe, which can be like much more over the top
You can be a little bit more
ridiculous.
campy, ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that could be really cool. And,
Yeah.
maybe they go into the next decade, you can bring in Power Rangers or whatever.
Oh shit, we're talking like a '90s Power Rangers, like a film of the Power Rangers that takes place in the '90s.
Right.
Wow, what are you saying, Royce? This is crazy talk.
I don't know. It could be cool. But any case, if it ends up being that, I think could be really
Yeah,
interesting.
I'm down.
I wouldn't hold my breath
Oh no,
assuming
no,
that's what it's going
definitely.
to be.
I'm definitely not like, oh, I hope this is gonna. No, it's not. Of course not. And obviously the last thing, which we already mentioned, which was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Since we're going to talk more about this one, let's talk about it
Yeah.
now.
I just think we got the little teaser before, so we got to kind of see the style of it to some
Yeah,
degree.
yeah.
We get a lot more of that in this trailer. I just love the halftone dot
Yeah, yeah.
splashes that they'll do like during action scenes.
Also the things that are in the foreground and the things that are in the background would be like the color plates would be off.
Right.
Kind of like old school comic books, how
where it's shifted or whatever.
yeah, the colors have shifted, but here it's like it's to signify, instead of a blur, it would be that.
Right.
Which is very interesting. At first, I was like, it's almost like you can use 3D glasses for it, but
yeah, it
no.
did have that kind of 3D effect kind of thing, like the red and blue lenses.
But just like every now and then, they'll have like certain shots would be shaded in screen tone.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
it
looks like
seemed to
they're trying to
happen
make a comic.
during action a lot, like during the scene where he's running up on the cab.
Right.
And what's cool about that is you can act there's a splash where the whole thing is halftone and it's all like color or whatever. But if you look at the frames before that, and it's still regularly lit, there's still halftones
Yeah,
in the
that's what I
door of
mean.
the
Yeah,
cab.
absolutely. Yeah, that's
And
what
I think
I was saying that
I think
exactly.
that's really cool. And I don't know how, like, it doesn't bother me to say ahead of time, but I don't know if I feel like it was necessary to do the like low frame rate thing to
Yeah.
try and make it look almost like stop motion.
I don't think it needed to.
I don't think it needed that. I mean, I'm fine with it. It doesn't bother me necessarily, but I just don't. I don't know why they felt like they needed it. I mean, I heard a couple people that were talking about the trailer, thinking that it was claymation, and I'm like, it's definitely not that.
No.
But that's interesting to me that people would assume
that would be
because of
so
that
much
style.
work.
And I was like, well, it's produced by the guys that did Lego Movie, and they did Lego Movie in the same style where it was like CG but made to look like stop motion.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's really nice looking movie. The action, some of the action stuff, I don't know if I'm sold on the movement of it.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit janky movement, kind of like, and I'm sure to some degree it was this, but it felt very like moving into position to hit poses. More than like fluent movement.
Right. Some shots look very fluid, like it's a natural body moving and stuff. Like the first shot of Spider-Man, Peter Parker, just going off the building. I was like, that's great movement right there.
Yeah, I did think it looked really weird though. It looked like Spider-Man didn't have a neck. I think it's just the design they gave to Peter in this.
Yes,
he's like very top heavy.
I was gonna say like certain aspects of just the character design of this whole film looks interesting. Right. It's very specific to it though.
It is, and just the choice of Jake Johnson as the voice of Peter is like
bizarre, but
not something I ever would have picked. But I'm like, that's interesting.
I just
never would have picked.
Oh, right. It works for the trailer.
Yeah, it's just I can't not picture him.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
Like it's a hard disconnect for you, huh?
Yeah, because his voice is so specific.
Oh, it's very specific.
And I watched a lot of New Girl.
Yeah, because he's great there.
It's hard not to imagine that character.
But he does it. He does it well. He's doing it well.
He does.
I'm just curious, like, I don't know where this movie where this movie takes place, because the way he even narrates it at the start, it's just like, yeah, well, but not.
Oh,
It's
like it feels like it's supposed to be the
it's
ultimate
it's an
universe,
ultimate
basically.
universe. So
Yeah, because
this Peter,
Spider-Man already exists in
yeah.
his world.
There's a shot where Miles is looking at like a bunch of Spidey suits.
Right.
And I'm like, this Spider-Man is definitely super established.
Right. Because I kind of wonder if the the old man Peter is
Mm.
like a 616 Peter,
That's
because
Trump.
it looks like at some point that they're looking at the grave of a Peter Parker.
Oh, okay. Dang.
So if it's like the comics version,
Of the Spider-Verse?
yeah, if it's like the comics version, Miles was inspired by Peter, and
Right.
only after his death does he become Spider-Man.
Right. And then he meets Peter
And
Parker,
then
but from a
after
different
he's
world.
exactly, so I feel like they're maybe doing like a mix of those two
Nice.
concepts where
Okay.
maybe Spider-Man dies, but then Peter from another world comes to train him or ends up
Something.
training him.
Right.
So I don't know. Like the at the end of the thing, they show Gwen Stacy
I
as like
also
reveal.
love Spider Gwen's shoes.
I don't. I really
You
hated
don't.
it, but
I
I
like it
know
more.
people are gonna love it, but I super don't like
I
it.
like it more than because to me the Chucks look like slippers, like just slippers.
I agree that the way that they do the
Yeah,
check
I
bottoms
think there's
doesn't make
definitely a
sense.
better way to do it.
But I just the ballerina thing doesn't make sense
Oh,
with
it doesn't.
Gwen
It doesn't
Stacy.
make
She's
sense
supposed to be
either.
like a rock drummer or
Yeah.
whatever. Why
Well,
does she ballerina
it
slippers?
might be different. They've
I
changed
mean,
a
it
lot of
very
things
well could
already.
be,
You know what
but
I mean?
it just seems like they went, no, we like the whole suit because we're gonna keep everything
Yeah,
exactly what the
except
suit
the
looks
shoes,
like,
because I don't like
except
the
for the
slippers.
shoes.
I don't like slippers. I'm gonna give ballerina shoes. I like it because it was different.
Yeah, I just feel like there could have been something else.
I'm
The
sure of it.
ballerina slippers, just because of the character, it doesn't make
Sure.
sense to me.
Oh yeah, but whatever. At this point, I mean, at that scene, Peter
I
Parker
don't
was
know.
wearing
It's
track
less
pants.
whatever to me because Spider-Man shit
Yeah.
is my shit.
Well,
Um,
Spidey was wearing track pants in that scene.
yeah, when I saw the clip of it, because I was like, okay, it's supposed to be Peter, but when I just saw the image of the Spider-Man with the kind of like Aladdin pants on, I was like, oh, maybe that's supposed to be because there's like an
Yeah,
Arabian
yeah, I know
Spider-Man
that.
as
Yeah,
well that has like the Aladdin
but it
pants on.
was
So I
just
was like,
regular
oh,
track
maybe it's
pants.
that. But he was just like, no, just bumming it out in the
Yep.
woods.
Mm-hmm.
And Miles has the like Halloween
Yeah, which
costume
is so
version of
weird.
it on.
Like the line about Comic Con, I'm like, what is this movie?
Which just makes me feel like that line probably isn't even in the movie. It was
Right.
like ADR just for the
Probably.
trailer.
They see. I can't. It's hard to trust trailers these days.
It is, but I think that's a good thing.
It
People
is.
complained for so
That's
long
true.
about
That
how
is very
trailers
true.
give away everything. Now
This one where it
the
gives away
trailers just
nothing,
make shit up.
or exactly, it gives away things that don't exist in the film.
Right.
That could be clever, I guess. But that looks
Um.
good. That's out in Christmas.
Yeah, and it did look like there's like the big ass version of the Green Goblin, like a
So
big demon thing.
it's definitely Ultimates then.
But it seems sort of like a mix because in one of the shots
They showed Prowler.
He's a big demon thing, but he has Green Goblin's like purple hood on, like
That's
the
yep.
616 version. So I don't know if it's like kind of like a design hybrid. They also do show Prowler
Yeah.
fighting like Peter's Spider-Man.
Yeah. Which looked pretty neat.
Um, it does look neat, but that was one of the scenes I was talking about where the action looked bizarre to me. It looked like they were hitting poses.
Yeah, no, for real. That one where it's like we need to move, but like in certain pause
Right.
shots,
That
we
one
need to hit.
specifically.
Yep. There's some awkward stuff on those ones as well. Like the posing is just awkward.
Yeah, and then some of the scenes at the end when they're swinging around together, you could tell they were like, this movie's gonna be in 3D because there was lots of like Peter, like
Oh yeah.
his head like flying at the camera or whatever, and you're like, okay, this is gonna be a really interesting thing to watch in 3D.
Yeah,
for sure.
primarily because of how they handle color and stuff. I'm curious about all
Right.
this, the tones and stuff.
And with 3D, like the post correction stuff is probably crazy because you have,
Yep.
so many more levels
Mm-hmm.
you can hit.
Like all the
Um,
hit effects, they do like actual comic looking effects. I'm
right,
curious
right.
how
Oh
those would
man,
end up looking in 3D. I'm sure
yeah, I
pretty
can't wait,
cool.
dude.
Yeah, it looks.
Because everything will be able to pop off of it,
Like
so it's
this
gonna
is
look
actually one that
bananas.
could be an experience to watch.
Yeah, man. If they put that one out like IMAX 3D, it's
I'm
definitely
yeah.
how I'm watching it.
I'll definitely need to peep this one. Even just like regular, like just good 3D. Just
Did they
IMAX.
say a date for this
It just
one?
says only on the big screen Christmas.
Ah, right, Christmas. Right, right, right.
Christmas.
Well, at least it's, this year still.
Yeah. Oh, it's this year. Lego
Yeah.
Movies, I think this year as well, and Bumblebee's on the week of Christmas as well. Not on Christmas Day, but the week of.
But, that's just exciting that we get a Spider-Man movie this year.
Right. That's
Even though he's technically doesn't exist right now in canon,
Yeah.
but
I
we still
mean,
get a
like we
Spider-Man
have
movie this
Spider
year.
Man, just not Peter. Except we do in this one. It's just an old man Peter. God, which is like, where do you fit? Are you in the same universe as Big Hero 6? Can we say it? What?
Oh man, Big
Oh,
Hero
yeah.
6. That'd be clowning if that randomly crossed over.
I'd be okay with that.
I'd be okay with it, but I would have so many more
Oh
questions
yeah,
after
yeah.
that.
Oh, it would
Because
only
it's like
be just
they live in
questions.
like a fictional version of a city that doesn't exist.
Yep,
So I'm like,
San
where does that exist
Francisco.
in the
It's like
Marvel
we're San
universe?
Francisco, next to Wakanda.
Right, right. But so far, like Wakanda is like the only. If it's on Earth, it's the only fake. Well, no,
Uh,
they had Sokovia.
Sokovia too, bro.
Any like that isn't that kind of weird though?
Yes.
Like only the foreign places are fake. If they're if they're in the
Yep.
U.S., it's always like a
Yeah,
real place.
yeah.
Like
I
I'm
do.
from Missouri.
Yeah, I wanted to say I'm from San Francisco. Wait, where
Oh
does Ant-Man take
man.
place? San Francisco.
Oh, I wish that'd be hella funny.
That's out in like 3 weeks.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna go see Upgrade this weekend.
Dude, I want to watch that.
Yeah, it looks like just Venom tech version.
Yeah, it
So,
looks like Venom before Venom, and the
all
actor
right,
doesn't make
and
it
it's
easier
fake
either.
Tom Hardy. Yeah,
Yeah, because he's the small Tom Hardy.
he's doing fake Venom movie, and he was already a Spider-Man villain before Tom
I
Hardy. He's
know
like
this
trying to
is,
beat Tom Hardy at Tom Hardy
but
game.
he didn't even. He's not trying to. He already beat him
That's what I'm
twice.
saying.
Yeah, he's
That's what
beat
I'm
him
saying.
twice.
He's trying to kill him at the Tom
Oh
Hardy game. Yeah.
man. Oh, but that film looks cool. I'm like, that's like straight out of a manga type premise.
And I've heard nothing but good
Oh,
things.
same here. Yeah.
So I'm
Everyone that
looking
said it
forward to
goes,
that
it
one.
feels like it's like an 80s, it's almost like an 80s film where they just go full on. They don't care.
Right.
And I'm like,
Looking forward to it.
that sounds perfect.
I saw a couple clips of the fighting and whatnot, so I was like, all right, this should be good.
Yeah, it looks like it's good fun times.
Yeah. But yeah.
So we've got a new jam
Yes.
at Chap Jams on DeviantArt.
Yeah.
This one we were gonna do one, I guess, last month, but it just time took over and we just lost track of time. But this one we wanted to do something. We had an idea already for this cereal mascots, but we figured let's just tackle this one first. And this one is basically there's a template that's on the page, on the DeviantArt page, which we'll link inside the in this video. You can probably see it right now. I'm gonna place the image here as we're talking. But it's a template of like fake cereal, which is called Chippa Chap Jams, and there's like an empty bowl. So you're basically tasked to reboot a mascot for 2018. Basically, take any cereal mascot from whatever, like American ones, any other country,
Wherever
you're from. Yeah.
Cereal, all you have to do is make sure and include a
Yes.
link to whatever the thing is, so we can verify it's a real thing.
Absolutely. Like we want to believe you, but we'd like to see
Right.
some, evidence of what you're doing.
And it's also just good generally, so
Yeah.
we know what to compare it to.
Right. And so it's just reboot the mascot for 2018. Like say the company hired you We want to revamp this character. We're not really feeling that. Like, we want to keep where he is. Like, say if it's the tiger, what's his name? Tony the Tiger. For what's his cereal? Frosties?
Frosted Flakes.
Frosted Flakes? Okay. Frosted Flakes guy. You see what he looks like? We're not really feeling that. Like, we want to keep Tony the Tiger, but we want him for, you know, revamp for 2018. Do that.
Oh, jeez. I'm just really excited to see what people come up with.
Yeah.
I just hope it's not like it's the Cocoa Krispies monkey, but he's on a Segway and using a fidget spinner or something.
That's the best. Because that screams 2018.
All right.
But yeah.
But anyway, so
that's basically
looking forward to seeing what people come up with for that.
And that jam ends on the 8th of July. So you've got plenty of time. You can do more than one, not limiting to just, you know, pick one. If you got time to do more, definitely do that. But
we've got another one coming up right after, right?
Yes, we've got a couple.
Okay, so
like we actually wrote down a bunch of different topics so that we can keep moving. The next one is either a follow-up to this or the one where it's just another redesign. I think there's a bunch of redesign ones that we've got, like revamps, which is very fun, I think.
I think they're fun and simple. People can kick them out and less stressed.
Yeah. The next one I think that you're thinking about is very current, I suppose.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, cool. But yeah, that's the jam that we're doing now. So if you want to participate, the link is below. And yeah, we'd love to see some of these entries. We're also going to try and do some as well.
Woo.
Yep. I'm not sure which one I'm going to pick yet. There's a couple, maybe. Have you got any picks right now?
You know, I really want someone else to do the honeycombs mascot. I just don't think I'm going to do it because I want somebody else to be braver than me.
You don't think you're brave enough to do it?
It's just a real terrible design, so I want to see somebody else tackle that one.
Yeah, I guess.
I'll figure something out, but not that one.
Right. I was going to do the tiger, and I'm like, no, let's pick something else.
Yeah.
There's so many. There's so many.
Yeah. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us. Let us know what your thoughts are on the actual upcoming films that we talked about.
Yeah, what did you think about the Spider-Verse trailer? Drop some comments under this.
Yeah.
And we'll get right back to them. And until the next one, guys, stay chipper chaps.
Stay chipper.